Good morning to one and all. This is Ranjana Gupta and I welcome you to this video lecture where I will discuss about the very first prose of Flamingo, the last lesson. The title The Last Lesson itself speaks that you will get a lesson at the end of the story. Here in this module, I will talk about the author, the background of the story, the explanation of the story and the summary of the story. Let's move to the author. Alphonse Daudet was a French short story writer and novelist. He is remembered chiefly as the author of sentimental tales of provincial life in the south of France. All his life he recorded his observations of other people in little notebooks, which he used as a reservoir of inspiration. Daudet represents a synthesis of conflicting elements and his actual experience of life. At very social level and in course of travels, helped to develop his natural gifts. His major work includes Tastin, In the Land of Pain and The Last Lesson. Let's move to the background of the story. It is said during the Franco-Prussian War, which took place in 1870 and 1871, France was defeated by Prussia led by the Bismarck. The French district of Alsace and Lorraine were occupied by Germany. A young boy named Franz is the narrator of the lesson. He talks about his last lesson of French language at school. The German forces has instructed that German language would be taught in the school of Alice and Lauren. Then move to the theme of this story. The last lesson revolves around the language and its importance to the citizens of a country. It is the duty of every citizen to safeguard the language of the story as it is the identity of that country. The lesson depicts how, after defeating France in the war, the Prussians wanted to rule over not only the territory of France, but also over the minds and hearts of the people. The story reinforces the fact that we value something more when it is lost. The pain and anguish of the students and the teacher is evident as everyone realizes how things were taken for granted. The lesson emphasizes the importance of the mother tongue for everyone and the need to realize the fact that it is our language which gives us our identity, respect and freedom. Now I am going to explain the story. This is a brief introduction. The last lesson, written by Alphonse Daudet, narrates about the year 1870, where the Prussian forces under Bismarck attacked and captured France. The French district of Alsace and Lorraine went into Prussian hands. The new Prussian rulers discontinued the teaching of French in the school of these two districts. The French teachers were asked to leave. Now, M. Hamel could no longer stay in his old school. Still, he gave the last lesson to his students with utmost devotion and sincerity as ever. One such student of M. Hamel, Franz, who dreaded French classes and M. Hamel's iron rod, came to the school that day thinking he would be punished as he had not learnt his lessons on participles. But on reaching school, he found Hamel dressed in his fine Sunday clothes and the old people of the village sitting quietly on the back benches. It was due to an order from Berlin. That was the first day when he realized for the first time that how important French was for him. But it was his last lesson in French. The story depicts the pathos of whole situation about how people feel when they don't learn their own language It tells us about the significance of one's language in one's life for the very existence of a race and how important it is to safeguard it. Now we will move to the summary of the story. So, the narrator here is Franz. The Franz is afraid of going to school as he has not learned participles. He wants to enjoy the beauty of nature, the bright sunshine, the birds chirping in the woods. On reaching school, Franz notices that there is an unusual silence. On the way, Franz passed the town hall, where he saw a large crowd reading the bulletin board, which had been a source of all bad news. Franz didn't stop there and rushed to the school. When Franz arrived at the school, he found a strange quietness there. He found that his classmates were already seated in the places and the teacher had already started teaching. The backbenches were occupied by the village elders who were grim and solemn. To his surprise, M. Himmel was in his formal dress that he used to wear only on the inspection or prize distribution days. Franz found M. Himmel to be kinder than usual. He didn't scold Franz for being late and allowed him to take his seat. Franz was shocked to get the news that it was their last lesson in French and the new German teacher would take charge on the following day. He was full of regret for not learning his mother tongue and felt a sudden love for French. He even started liking M. Himmel and forgot all about his ruler and crankiness. When M. Himmel asked Franz to answer a question on participles, he was not able to answer. Even then, M. Himmel didn't scold him and remarked that the only trouble with people of Alsace was of putting off learning till the next day. He blamed parents for sending their children to earn money rather than to school. He also blamed himself for sending students to water his plants or for giving them a holiday where he wanted to go fishing. M. Himmel then talked of the French language, calling it the most beautiful language in the world. He told the class to keep their language close to their hearts, to feel free and happy. As long as an enslaved people held fast to their language, they had the key to their prison. Their language could liberate them forever. As the church clock struck 12, M. Himmel, with a choked throat, wrote on the blackboard, Vive la France, VIVELAFRANCE, that means Long live France, and dismissed the class. The story, written in a historical background, is a beautiful description of the emotional bond of people with their mother tongue. It depicts the pathos of the situation that, in order to conquer the minds of the people, it is not enough to win a country physically by force. In order to enslave a people completely, a conqueror needs to enslave their thoughts and make them devoid of the language and use of their own mother tongue. So that's it. That's the end of the story. Thank you. Keep listening. Keep reading.